Imagine waking up one morning to a world where, for just 5 seconds, Earth suddenly stops spinning. It sounds impossible, but let's explore what would happen if our planet's rotation came to a halt, even for such a brief moment. The Earth's rotation is something we rarely think about, yet it's fundamental to life as we know it. In this video, we'll break down the science, the immediate effects, and the aftermath of this extraordinary event. So let's dive into the unimaginable and see what 5 seconds without rotation could mean for everyone and everything on Earth. Understand the impact. Let's first talk about Earth's rotation. Our planet spins at about 1,670 kilometers per hour at the equator. This rotation is responsible for the cycle of day and night, the movement of weather systems, and even the shape of the planet itself. The constant spinning creates a sense of stability, keeping everything in balance. If this motion were to suddenly stop, even for a few seconds, the consequences would be dramatic. Let's see why this is such a big deal. Picture the Earth coming to a sudden stop. For 5 seconds, everything on the surface would try to keep moving at the same speed the planet was spinning. This is due to inertia, a basic law of physics. Just like when a car stops suddenly and you lurch forward, the same would happen on a much larger scale. Buildings, trees, oceans, and even the air would all be affected. The sheer force would be unimaginable, and the world would experience chaos in those brief moments. Inertia means that objects in motion stay in motion unless acted upon by another force. If Earth stopped spinning, everything not anchored to bedrock would continue moving eastward at over 1,000 miles per hour. Cars, people, animals, and even loose soil would be flung forward. The devastation would be global, with massive destruction in every city and landscape. The effects would be most severe at the equator, where the rotational speed is highest. Oceans wouldn't be spared either. Water would surge forward, creating colossal tsunamis that would sweep across continents. Coastal cities would be hit first, but the waves would travel far inland, destroying everything in their path. The sudden movement of such massive amounts of water would reshape coastlines and flood entire regions. The aftermath would be catastrophic, with long-term environmental consequences. It's not just land and water that would be affected. The atmosphere would also keep moving at the original speed, causing hurricane-force winds to sweep across the globe. These winds would uproot trees, demolish buildings, and make it nearly impossible for anything to survive above ground. The sky would darken with debris and the air would be filled with dust and chaos. The world would be unrecognizable in just a few seconds. Most buildings are designed to withstand gravity and some natural disasters, but not the sudden force of the entire planet stopping. Skyscrapers, bridges, and homes would collapse as their foundations are ripped apart. Infrastructure would be destroyed in an instant, leaving cities in ruins. The damage would be so extensive that recovery would be nearly impossible. The world's landmarks and familiar skylines would be gone. People and animals, the sudden stop would be deadly. Anyone not secured would be thrown at incredible speeds, causing severe injuries or worse. Wildlife would be equally affected, with entire ecosystems disrupted in seconds. The chaos would be universal, sparing no one. Survival would depend on being underground or somehow shielded from the massive forces unleashed by the planet's abrupt halt. Cars, trains, planes, and ships would all be affected by the sudden stop. Vehicles would lose control, crashing into anything in their path. Airplanes in flight would be especially vulnerable, as the air around them would keep moving while the ground stopped. The result would be catastrophic accidents on a global scale, with transportation systems completely destroyed in moments. After the 5 seconds are over and Earth resumes spinning, the damage would already be done. The world would be left in chaos, with widespread destruction and loss of life. Emergency services would be overwhelmed, and survivors would struggle to find safety. The environment would be changed forever, with new coastlines, altered landscapes, and a sky filled with debris. Recovery would take generations if it were possible at all. Earth's rotation causes it to bulge at the equator. If the planet stopped spinning even briefly, this bulge would begin to flatten. The redistribution of mass would cause earthquakes and volcanic eruptions as the crust adjusts to the new shape. The planet would become more spherical, but the process would be violent and destructive, adding to the chaos already unleashed. Without rotation, the force that slightly counteracts gravity at the equator would disappear. People and objects would feel slightly heavier, especially near the equator. This sudden change in weight would add to the confusion and difficulty of moving around in the aftermath. The difference might seem small, but combined with everything else, it would make survival even harder. Earth's rotation helps generate its magnetic field, which protects us from harmful solar radiation. If the planet stopped spinning, even for a short time, the magnetic field could be disrupted. This would leave the planet vulnerable to solar storms and increased radiation, posing new threats to life and technology long after the initial disaster. Rotation of Earth drives weather systems and ocean currents. Without it, these patterns would be thrown into chaos. Storms would form in unexpected places and climates could change overnight. The disruption would make it difficult for plants, animals, and humans to adapt, leading to further environmental stress and potential mass extinctions. If the Earth stopped, the cycle of day and night would be interrupted. For those 5 seconds, the sun would appear to freeze in the sky. This might not seem like much, but it would be a surreal experience, adding to the confusion and fear. The sudden return to normal rotation would make the sun jump in the sky, further disorienting everyone. Time as we know it is based on Earth's rotation. Stopping the planet even briefly would throw off our clocks and calendars. The 5-second pause would create confusion in timekeeping, affecting everything from technology to daily routines. It's a small detail, but it highlights how much we rely on the steady rhythm of our spinning planet. Sudden destruction of infrastructure would cripple global communication. Satellites, internet cables, and power lines would be damaged or destroyed, making it nearly impossible to contact loved ones or coordinate rescue efforts. The world would be plunged into silence, adding to the sense of isolation and panic. With so much destruction, power grids would fail almost instantly. Cities would go dark and essential services would be lost. Hospitals, water treatment plants, and emergency systems would struggle to operate, making recovery even more difficult. The loss of electricity would be one of the biggest challenges for survivors. Economic consequences would be staggering. With cities destroyed, transportation halted, and communication lost, global trade would come to a standstill. Markets would crash and rebuilding would take decades if it were even possible. The financial losses would be incalculable, affecting every country and community on the planet. In the aftermath, social order would break down. With resources scarce and communication cut off, panic and chaos would spread. People would struggle to find food, water, and shelter, leading to conflicts and unrest. Governments would be overwhelmed, and society as we know it would be changed forever. The environmental impact would last for generations. Flooded regions, destroyed forests, and altered weather patterns would make it difficult for life to recover. Many species would go extinct and ecosystems would be permanently changed. The scars left by those 5 seconds would be visible for centuries. Surviving such a traumatic event would leave deep psychological scars. People would struggle with fear, anxiety, and grief over the loss of loved ones and the world they once knew. The sense of security we take for granted would be shattered, and rebuilding trust in the planet's stability would take a long time. Cultures around the world would be forced to adapt to the new reality. Traditions, beliefs, and ways of life would change as people try to make sense of what happened. Art, literature, and religion would all reflect the trauma and the struggle to rebuild. The event would become a defining moment in human history. Scientists would be fascinated by the event, studying every detail to understand how and why it happened. New fields of research would emerge, focused on planetary motion, disaster recovery, and survival strategies. The lessons learned could help us prepare for other cosmic threats in the future. The need to rebuild would drive technological innovation. Engineers and inventors would develop new ways to protect against similar disasters, improve infrastructure, and restore communication. The crisis could spark a wave of creativity and progress, changing the way we live and interact with our planet. The event would highlight the importance of understanding our place in the universe. Interest in space exploration would surge, with more resources devoted to studying other planets and cosmic phenomena. The hope would be to learn how to prevent or survive similar events in the future. Communities would develop new survival strategies, focusing on underground shelters, food storage, and alternative energy sources. The experience would teach humanity the value of preparedness and resilience, shaping the way we plan for disasters in the future. The scale of the disaster would require unprecedented global cooperation. Countries would need to work together to share resources, knowledge, and support. The event could bring humanity closer, fostering a sense of unity and shared purpose in the face of adversity. Efforts to restore the environment would become a top priority. Replanting forests, cleaning up debris, and rebuilding habitats would be essential for recovery. The experience would highlight the importance of caring for our planet and protecting it from future harm. Education systems would adapt to teach future generations about the event and its lessons. Awareness of planetary science, disaster preparedness, and environmental stewardship would become central themes in schools and communities worldwide. Artists, writers, and musicians would use their talents to process the trauma and inspire hope. New works of art would capture the emotions and experiences of the event, helping people heal and find meaning in the aftermath. Religious and spiritual leaders would play a key role in helping people cope with the disaster. Communities would turn to faith for comfort and guidance, seeking answers and hope in the face of overwhelming loss. The process of rebuilding society would be long and difficult. New systems of government, economy, and community would emerge as people adapt to the changed world. The experience would shape the future of humanity, teaching us the value of resilience and cooperation. The event would serve as a powerful lesson about the fragility of our planet and the importance of being prepared for the unexpected. It would remind us to cherish the stability we often take for granted and to work together to protect our world. Science fiction writers have long imagined scenarios where Earth's rotation is disrupted. These stories help us explore the possibilities and prepare for the unknown. The event would inspire new works of fiction, sparking imagination and debate about our place in the universe. Understanding how planets work is crucial for our survival. The event would highlight the need for continued research in planetary science, geology, and astronomy. By learning more about our world, we can better protect it and ourselves from future threats. If there's one thing this scenario teaches us, it's the importance of being prepared for the unexpected. Disaster planning, emergency supplies, and community support can make all the difference when the unthinkable happens. It's a reminder to take preparedness seriously, no matter how unlikely the threat may seem. We often take the stability of our planet for granted. The event would remind us how much we rely on the steady rotation of Earth for everything from timekeeping to weather. It's a lesson in appreciating the things we rarely notice but can't live without. Despite the devastation, humanity has a remarkable ability to adapt and rebuild. The event would test our resilience, but it would also inspire hope and determination. By working together, we could overcome even the most unimaginable challenges and create a better future. The possibility of Earth stopping again, even briefly, would always be in the back of people's minds. Scientists would work to understand the causes and prevent a repeat. The event would change the way we think about our planet and our place in the universe forever. Imagining impossible scenarios helps us prepare for real-world challenges. By thinking about what would happen if Earth stopped spinning, we can better appreciate the forces that shape our world and the importance of science in understanding them. Events like this, even if only imagined, remind us of our place in the universe. We are small parts of a vast, complex system, and our survival depends on understanding and respecting the forces that govern it. It's a humbling thought, but also an inspiring one. After such an event, people would learn to cherish the ordinary moments of life. The simple act of watching the sunrise, feeling the wind, or walking on solid ground would take on new meaning. It's a reminder to appreciate the everyday wonders of our spinning planet. While the idea of Earth stopping for 5 seconds is purely hypothetical, it's a powerful way to explore the forces that shape our world. It reminds us of the delicate balance that makes life possible and the need to protect our planet. Let's use our imagination and knowledge to build a safer, more resilient future for everyone. Thank you for joining us on this journey through an unimaginable scenario. We hope it's given you a new appreciation for our planet and the incredible forces at work every day. Remember, the world keeps spinning and so do we. Stay curious, stay prepared, and cherish every moment on this amazing planet we call home.